Hello and welcome to the radio show Learning English Online. This time I'm going to talk with some students from the language school about how to learn a second language, in this case English, and how complicated it could be to learn how to write, read, and speak in English. Hello and welcome. Can you tell us your name and your level of English, please?
Well, hi, my name is Alexis, and my level of English is C1.
Hi, my name is Alondra, and my level of English is B2.
Hi, my name is Jacobo Miguel Alan, and my level of English is B1.
Okay, we're going to start with this little conversation between us. And the first question for you is, and give me your opinion about what do you think about the way to teach English grammar in this country?
Well, hi. In my personal opinion, the way they teach is sometimes good. Depends a lot of the teacher and the school you are doing your studies. But mainly, I think we're having trouble with pronunciation and grammar because they're like two topics that are really hard to teach, especially when you're not a native speaker and you're surrounded by Mexican people or Latinos.
Well, in my personal opinion, it's not really good because the teachers have this problem with pronunciation, and the Mexicans have the problem. And I think we need to improve the pronunciation that we have.
Well, the way to teach in Mexico, it's like kind of difficult because, as my partner said, uh, they don't have the correct pronunciation of the words, and that's complicated for us because we are learning a second language, and if we learn with a bad pronunciation, it's gonna be like, you have a bad pronunciation, and I don't know, it's embarrassing, but it depends of the teacher and the school. Yes, of course, because if you are in, I don't know, in a school that your teachers are like, you never have classes and they always give you just the work of the class, and that's a bad way to learn. So we have to learn practicing and speaking a lot the second language that we are learning.
So we are connected with the same idea about the way to teach English in this country. So we are good, but we could be better, right? Okay. Do you think the teachers from Mexico are really prepared to teach the English grammar in a correct way?
Well, in my own opinion, I don't think they're prepared. Of course, there's other teachers that are. They are certified and they reach that level of studies, but most of the teachers don't. And here's why. Grammar is a really complicated topic, especially because you need to reach a higher level of English to be actually good at grammar. It's like Spanish. Spanish grammar is also really hard, and most of the people don't know the correct one. So it requires a lot of time and it requires a lot of patience. So that's why a lot of people is not entirely prepared for that.
Well, I think no. We have really good teachers, but we have others that are really, really, really bad teachers. And it's because, like my partner say, um, we need to learn more grammar because grammar is it's a difficult thing, And
language, right?
yes.
Well, I think we have prepared teachers, but there's two things. The same idea of the last question. They don't have the correct pronunciation of the words, and they don't know how to explain and to teach. Yes, sometimes that we have good teachers in Mexico, but honestly, they don't have a good pronunciation. I don't have a good pronunciation, but I'm improving that to be a good English teacher. So in this way, we need more prepared teachers because I don't know, they have to improve their language, like traveling to the United States and doing like that kind of trips to learn more. So that's my opinion.
Okay. As we know, everyone could learn another language, right? And everyone could learn English. But mm, do you think it's difficult to understand the English grammar for Latino people who want to learn English?
Well, it comes back at it at the teachers, because it's when you're a good teacher, you can make a really complicated topic like you were talking about grammar or pronunciation or the structure of a sentence or a paragraph. But when you're a bad teacher, you make any simple topic hard and complicated and tedious. So it's not hard for them because Spanish is well, some people put a category of Spanish like a really difficult language, and English as an easy second language to learn. That's why a lot of people learn it. So it's just mainly about how your teacher is with you, and of course your independent study has a lot to do with it. You can try by yourself. First, learn to love the language because when you love someone or something, it's really easy to learn it. Like you feel motivated about it.
Well, I think well, in my personal opinion, I think yes.
Yes, I think it's difficult to Latino people to understand the English grammar, but it's not difficult at all. Um, One teacher, when I was in the high school, said, um, "If you want to learn something, you." Can you repeat me the question again, please?
Sure. And do you think it's difficult to understand the English grammar for Latino people who want to learn English?
Okay, okay. So, yes, what I said was the teacher said to me, when you want to learn something, you improve that, and you don't see that like, oh, it's too difficult. But sometimes it's kind of difficult because of the teachers and the schools and the classes and that stuff. Because if you want to learn the grammar, it's it's gonna be like dynamic. Like you have to write stories and that stuff to learn more grammar.
Okay. And what do you think is the most common mistake in English grammar make for the people who start to learn the language?
Well, for starters in grammar, I think the common mistake is like I said before, independent study can be really helpful or it can be confusing because you can be learning something and then when you're introduced to new classes and you have the structure of how something is, but it's not the correct way. So when you're learning with movies or with videos or with music, it can give you a certain vocabulary or way to say things, but it's not always the correct way.
Yes, that happens to me. I learn by movies and music, but when I need to write, it's like it's yes, it's complicated because I know how it I know how to speak, but when I need to write, it's like confusing.
So, for me, in my personal opinion, um, the most common mistakes are like we confuse the times of the verbs, but according to the idea of my partner, it's difficult when you want to write a word because you know how to pronounce or how to say that word, but really you don't know how to write that word because in English some words are very different and it change depends of the time we are talking about. So that's the common mistakes that I think we have.
Okay. Another question is it's more like an advice. What do you recommend to do to the people who have problems with grammar in English? Do you need they need a tutor or they can learn with independent work the language? What do you recommend to do?
Well, I think to start with, you have to like the language. So if you do some research and some independent study, it can be really helpful. But you definitely need a tutor. You need a guide that tells you if you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong to help you with pronunciation. And like we were talking about with grammar, because the structure of a sentence, it's really different from how you say it. So there you go. It has the times and it has the structure and you have the verbs. So definitely you need a tutor.
Well, I think, like my partner say, you need a tutor. Well, in my case, I need a tutor because I need someone to support my knowledge and help me to improve my grammar and my pronunciation and my vocabulary. And well, always you need someone who guides you.
Well, if you have doubts, you always need help. So I think a tutor is like the best option to improve your knowledge because if you have doubts, well, you need someone that support you to yes to correct that mistakes. So I think we always need help. We need the best option is have a tutor to help us and support us.
Okay. And the last question is what you can say to the people who think that learn English is very complicated for the way that it is writing and reading. What you can say it?
Well, I will say to those people that nothing is complicated if you really have the purpose to do something. Uh, like a famous brand says, impossible is nothing, and that's true. I mean, when you set your mind on something, you can do anything. Humans are amazing and marvelous about those things. We know no boundaries. So if you like English or you are interested in learning, you can do it. You can totally do it. You need the love for it and some independent study, and of course, like we were talking about, like a teacher or a guide or a tutor.
Well, um, can you repeat me the question, please?
Yes, what you can say to the people who think that learn English is very complicated for the way that it's writing and reading?
Well, it's not difficult at all because if you want to learn, you learn. So, English is not a difficult language. It's just like similar to the Spanish language. So, I think it's not difficult. Difficult. One teacher told me that it's better that Mexicans, sorry, learn English and instead of the American learn Spanish, because if we if we learn English, it's more easier to the American people to understand us. And yes, it's just the question of practice your English to improve your English.
Well, I have um, friends like they always say that it's difficult, and I think could be difficult sometimes, but if you try to um, if you try to enjoy it, see, you can see movies or listen music, and this could be the way to enjoy how to learn English. And well, yeah, that's what I think.
Well, we have a call. Hello and welcome to the LAO. You are on air. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Aide, and I'm level C1. And well, in my opinion, I think that nothing in this world is impossible. If you want to learn something, I mean, you're going to do whatever it takes to learn that thing. And of course, with practice and with all the support of your family or your teachers, tutors, I mean, you could do it. And in this case, now in these days, you need to learn English. It's not because if you want to. Of course, if you love the language that's English, it's going to be more easier for you to learn it. But in another way, one thing is that to learn English is now in these days that you have to know English to have like a better job. I mean, in this case, it abarks everything. So I think, in my opinion, that English is a beautiful language, that it could open you a lot of doors around the world and works and everything. And yeah, I think that's good in my opinion.
Okay. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for coming to share with us your opinions and give us some advices to improve our English. And have a good weekend. And we have we have another advice or another opinion about this topic from Alexis.
Where more than an opinion or advice is to thank you for having us in this amazing radio show. It was really nice to share our ideas and to hear about other partners. So I want to thank you for having us.
No, thank you to you, and We will see you the next Friday. Have a good day. Enjoy your